Hello everybody, Tahoe Yak Fisher here. I am going to do a video today on my anchor trolley and anchor deployment system. Now, I installed a very basic anchor trolley a while back and I showed you guys what I did. I got some inexpensive pulleys, some stainless steel carabiners, and some pad eyes. And I've got that at both ends with a steel ring. And the carabiners make it so that I can remove the entire trolley system when I am storing the boat. I store them outside, and that way the rope won't rot or decay or what have you. Now this is as far as I have shown you guys because I really wasn't sure A, how this was going to work, and B, how I was going to deploy the anchor. Now, we all know that there are some safety concerns with deploying an anchor in a kayak and current and waves and things, and you need to be able to release the anchor basically in one motion and get it free of the boat. And that equation was what I was trying to figure out with my anchor trolley system. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, 99% of the time I am anchoring because I am in a pond and I want to pressure a certain area, and the alpine lakes around here, I don't really have current or wind. If the wind is so heavy that an anchor might be dangerous, I am probably at home building a fire. So I'm going to show you the anchor deployment system I have that can be set up in more than one way. Now, we're going to start right here. Here are all of the ingredients of my anchor deployment system. I have an anchor. It's a 3-pound anchor. It's affixed to the anchor at that end. It has the standard issue zip tie trick. Now, one thing I will tell you about the zip tie trick, use a small zip tie. They're harder to break than you think when you're sitting on a boat and you're pulling on the rope to break the zip tie, which means you're pulling your kayak. Your kayak is the reverse force you're pulling against. So you're trying to pull your kayak over in the water. And if you have to pull too hard and that zip tie snaps, that stored energy is going to make you flip over the other side. Okay, so anyway, going up to there, we have a brass clip. I had these sitting around. Onto this, a dive reel. It was about 25 bucks and it came with 300 feet of this cord. 300 is far more than I needed, so I actually peeled about 100 feet of it off. So I probably have about 200 feet left on here. And I know what you're saying, that's awfully small cord for an anchor. Well, I did a little research. It's 175 pound breaking strength Spectra cord. So it's special cord. It's a lot stronger than standard rope. So that's how I can get away with the small diameter. And it's retractable and it's waterproof. All of this, it's a dive reel. It's meant to be underwater. Okay, and that, I got a little clevis block there. I think that's what it's called. Another short piece of rope going to my float. Now, I'm going to remove this from the anchor just to lighten things up so I can show you how it works. Now, like I was saying, 99% of the time, safety is not a huge concern for me. That means I can clip this straight to here. I can release my anchor as far as I would like to release it. And now I can shift that from bow to stern pretty easily. Okay, now, sticklers for safety. That's the first method that this can be set up when you know that you're not going to hit a safety situation. Now, if I am going to be in a place where safety is a concern, I have 2 more ingredients to make this 100% safe. And here they are right here. I got about a 6-foot section of rope with a loop tied at one end, and this little device from Night Eyes called a cam something. Okay, now you guys can probably guess what I'm going to do with this, but I'm going to pause the video and set this up and then show you how it works. Okay guys, so the seat straps on this Hobie seat weren't quite long enough, so I put a piece of cord here that stays with the kayak. Now, I tied a knot in that cord to make a short loop right here, and this is where I've clipped this cam lock, cam whatever. I got the rope going through it with about a 6 or 8 inch tag. Now the other end of it is coming back here to my anchor trolley. Now this is where I'm going to hook my anchor. I'm going to hook all of this good stuff, anchor included, right there to that. Now, my anchor obviously can still go from one end of the kayak to the other via this 6-foot rope. But if I have an emergency situation, all I have to do is release that, and the anchor comes right out, and I am back in safety. I didn't have to attach anything extra to the boat. The entire anchor trolley system comes off in a snap, can be stored separately. And I'm going to show you guys my stowed and ready to deploy setup. So hang on. Okay guys, here we are. Now I've got my pasta container in here that my anchor sits in, and it is tied to the hose reel and ready to be dropped off of the boat. I'll set this down, tied to going through the anchor trolley up to the emergency block. Now, let's go the other direction. We can pull this all the way up to there. I'm dragging the anchor on the ground, so I'm pulling the boat. So there's my anchor. And if you can imagine, all you have to do is, this is harder to do than it looks one-handed, is release that, out it comes, and you're safe. Alright, so some ingenuity, something to do that, a way to hook it up that you don't really have to attach anything to your kayak other than the trolley itself. Deployable anchor, line management in a manner that's going to keep it out of my lap, and my anchor is that much more usable, functional, and convenient. So tell me what you guys think. Thanks very much for watching. Tight lines, Yak Fisher out.